What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Oh, hey Ray. Hey wife unit. Welcome back to the Don't forget to change your frickin' oil. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I have a 2019 F350 with the XLT Plus package, and this particular unit did not come with upfitter switches. I'm going to show you guys tonight how to add these things onto your truck so that you can control whatever you want with the flick of a switch. If you have an Alumaduty, you might want to watch this. All right, guys, let's go. All right, everybody, thanks so much for coming back and checking us out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe right here in the bottom. Here we are, 2019 DRW F350, and this poor jewel did not come with factory upfitters. Now, we've talked about this on the channel about adding upfitter switches, and if your truck did not come with them, you can add factory upfitter switches onto your vehicle with a couple of parts. Let's see if I can get this open. We are going to have to add, well, let's just go over here and show you guys the parts now so that we are all on the same page. Now, the biggest and most costly part that you're going to need to get is the actual console. Now, I'm sure you could try to buy the switches and cut out and try to fab up, but there is an aftermarket version. BMC Lights has a sweet switch mount that actually can go in the cup holder. But if you guys are looking for, not cup holder, but the slide back and forth thing in the center console where you put your drinks. This is factory OEM. It is going to be depicted on trim color. It's going to be depicted on whether or not you have the proximity sensors, if you have a sunroof, if you have a slider. There's a lot of options we have to go through in order to get the correct one that's going to match your inside. Now, you are going to need to get a harness. This is one of them that is actually going to go from the headliner. We're going to have to drop the front side of the headliner down, and we are going to be looking at a harness that is about this long, a little over 3 feet. We have some connections directly to the upfitter switches, the back side, and then this is going to be running the front side of the headliner down to the driver's side A-pillar. Now, I would show you the part number for the harness, but
somebody threw it away. That's my fault.
But some dingling threw it away, so I'm going to try to put that information into the description for you guys. And this is the big harness that comes from the fuse area on the truck. Well, this is actually going to be running along the fan, I should say. Once you get this all undone, here is the box that is going to mount right here on your duty. You can see the pegs where it's supposed to lie. So we have to take that harness, go all the way down in front or below the radiator, come up behind the headlight, and it is going to be plugging into a connector down over here. I just don't know where said connector is. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to find it. It's this connector right here. You know, this one right here. You'll find it. And then obviously you're going to have to go to the battery junction box. So without further ado, let me get some of this stuff tore apart. I'm not going to need the new parts just yet. As to access this, it can be a real pain in the, yeah, you know what I mean. Be careful. This is really sharp. You can cut your fingers, but get it with one hand and pull down on this while you're holding up on the headliner, and you can disengage that clip and that clip. And once you get half of it, you can kind of work your way down like this, but be careful to not stress this, because I have busted this, cracked it right in half. Luckily I was replacing it, but nonetheless, I have never forgot about it. So be careful when you're doing it. You're going to be replacing this anyway, but I'm just saying for shits and gits. So let me get this kind of out of the way right now. Let's see if I can kind of pop it back up in here. There we go. I want you to take the Torx. I can't remember what it is. Is it a 7? Yeah, is it a 7? Let's see, we need some illumins. We got a 7 mil there. Take that 7 mil out, and then you're gonna get your PTT screwdriver, and you're gonna come over here and get just the lip. See how I just popped this lip? But you're gonna go ahead and just pop that whole little thing right off, that little trim piece, and lo and behold, there's another 7 milli there. So take off both visors. You don't need them on. We're gonna need to pull the A-pillars off. We have 2 little doors that come off, and we have some 10 millis hiding behind there. So 2 10 mils, one here, electrical connector. Pop this off, and then you're gonna see the front part of this headliner kind of get saggy, bag and sag and bury. But I'm gonna have to do something about this sweating. Let me move the truck forward and maybe get the fan through the door, because it's gonna be profusely today. Everything is taken off that we just talked about. The visors. I did take the weather stripping just off the top and have it sitting outside like this. All right, we don't need to take it all the way off. I just want to access this right here so it's nice and hangy. But you guys can see where the harness would go if it had factory outfitter switches. You see that? That's right where that harness is going to go, right there. So it actually should have had these from the factory. Every Super Duty should have had these. Let's pull out this little foam, and looky. There's the connector that our upfitter switch harness is going to be plugging into, right there. Look at that little thing just sitting there waiting for us to plug something in its little hole right there, this little cavity. Okay, so I am going to have a little electrical connector right here. We have a big electrical connector right here. Button is right here in the middle. And then we have this little tiny guy that just kind of pulls out. It's almost like a little RC connector. You guys see that? Let me just put some light on that. Almost like a little RC connector. It just pulled right out, no big deal. Okay, so let's set this aside. Now, see how floppy this is. We have a couple of magnets. Well, there should have been a couple of magnets, but typically there is a magnet right here, and I don't see any magnet. Weird. All right, well, sometimes it'll flop like this, and sometimes there'll be a magnet that you'll have to magnet the headliner off of the steel structure they have inside. So we need to take this off right here. We're no longer using this one anymore. This truck came with no upfitter switches, so we got to take this little jumper out, which you got to kind of locate. There's another plastic one of these on here, just clip. You guys can see this thing kind of flopping. This clips to the headliner, and basically the overhead trip console clips into that. So we have another plastic little tether, just like that. And then if I can reach this connector, let's see if I can do some Houdini stuff right quick. Is this Houdini? Is this Mr. Houdini right here? Oh yeah, I did it. Okay, the truck does not need this. This is a no upfitter switch harness. So now what we need to do is, let's come to my toolbox. Come here, let me show you. All right, check this out. So we have the harness right here. Okay, now if you guys recall, here's what we disconnected. Here's that little RC connector. Here's those plastic little clamshell connectors. And then here is the upfitter switch harness. We did not have this going into the center of our switch assembly. 2 more plastic tether clips, and then the connector we just unplugged. Let me show you guys. Come here, look at this. The trucks that had upfitter switches only had this little itty bitty harness. You see them? That's the difference right there. No upfitter switches, upfitter switches. You can see the plastic little clamshell tethers are in the exact same spot. So what I'm going to do is start with installing this connector in first to set my area inside the headliner. Come back on the passenger side, I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, I am going to try not to hurt my back. I'm gonna feed this doodad right here. All right, let's get that upfitter switch harness in here. Right there, baby. All right, here's our Houdini connector. Right here, I don't know if you guys could see that. That was kind of flopping around. But I'm plugging it in right here. You guys can check it out. Gotta find the right angle on the dangle. Where are you at? Oh, is it going sideways? Probably. There we go. Okay, it is going sideways. Okay, that's clipped in. I need to clip one more in. Oh, let's get this clipped. That'll set my area where I'm supposed to be. All right, factory Ford harness. Can't get it clipped in. I got it around the plastic. Yeah, I got it around the plastic. We have one more. I'm gonna have to go around backside. I see it. I don't want any rattle in the headliner. Oh, okay, that's clipped on. I like it. So we could run this harness right along. Let's see if I can get this in right here. Okay, tether. I'm gonna plug it in to the connector down here in the A pillar, and I'll show you guys. Okay, that's clipped in. That's clipped in. All right, let's pull that slack back. Okay, now I have one trim clip that's gonna kind of bother me because I don't know quite where it went. It's this guy right here. Oh, I found it. Look at that. Look at that. Factory ASF, baby. Right there. That's right where it's supposed to be. And then this is really supposed to be super glued to the headliner, but we're not gonna be able to super glue anything. So we just kind of lay it and run it right where the old harness, well, the current harness, I should say, is in. Okay, lining up. Okay, I can dig it. Let's go ahead and put the weather stripping in so we can hold our headliner up. All right, we'll pop this side in. Okay, that looks good. I can dig it, I can dig it. What really sucks though is when you're working on headliners like this is your fingerprints. Just be careful to not have greasy paws because it's gonna be a pain in the butt to clean it up. Okay, let's do the visor. This is the driver's. Here is the passengers. Now, it should be literally going right back in. We have 7 millis. Using the light on the gun, I found my 2 7 millis. Let's see if we can collab and put this in together. Oh, followed the exact same little pattern on the headliner. That guy just kind of fell out. Search and rescue, found it. 7 mil. Let me close this before I cause destruction. 7 mil. Hit it. Hit it, baby, hit it. Okay, little plastic piece. There we go. Clip, clip. All right, check it. That's done. Let's put on the A-pillar. I showed you guys so many times how to take this connector off. Connector plugged back in. And we're gonna kind of find the little feet down here where the A-pillar meets the dash. And see if we can. There we go. Perfect. 10 mils. I have 2 10 millis right here. Make sure you put it on tighten. Tight. Let's go ahead and push that on and that on. All right, let's do the driver side. All right, before you put the A-pillar in, make sure to stuff your foamy. Get foamy with us. I remember in college, we went to Western Michigan University. I wasn't going to Western, but we went to a foam party. It was pretty sweet. Were we of age to drink? Yeah, I think we were over 21. But it was a foam party. And then the next night was a blacklight party. It was pretty cool. That was my foam words of wisdom for the day. It was pretty cool. Okay, we're back in. Let's put the feet down past the I-dash cables, right where the dash meets the A-pillar, and then we should be right in weather stripping. Kind of peel it back out. You can see the witness marks, and then we got 10 millis. I got 1, and I got 2. Uno. Okay, we're in there. Let's not get this doity. Let's put that back up and in, flush. There we go. This guy's gonna go just like that. Gosh, I've taken so many of these things off in the years, it's so funny. And I still drop these little 7 mil screws because they're so tiny. Okay, that helps hold the headliner up on that side. And we got our 7 milli over here. 7 mil. Clip. 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 All right, headliner is in. Wiring is done. Let's go get the new switches. This is it. The piece de resistance. Fresh, unscathed. It's time to put them in. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. I'm gonna say plug the RC connector in first. This way? This way? How come I can't do this? There we go. Okay, that just plugs in there. And then we have a tether. See that little plastic? Ow. Plastic piece. Clip that sucker in right there. Okay, upfitter switch connector connected. We need to connect this little guy, that little guy, and you ain't gotta worry about that little guy.
Oh, that little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
And then we put this in, the interior light should go back on. All right, we'll just kind of lightly put this up here so we can test. Maybe I gotta shut the doors. Let me turn the key on really quick. Thing's been sitting for an hour with the door open, so. Okay, lights on. Should these go on? I don't know. Even with the fuse box not hooked up? No. Oh, they do. Oh, cool. Check it out. How come those don't light up? Probably because, I don't know. Why didn't those go on? Interesting. I don't know. I hope you don't have a problem with the new part. I would expect those to come on too. Okay, let's get this ready for the wiring harness installation. I think I'm gonna lift the front of the truck up off the ground and kind of mock up where this is gonna run because I think this is gonna be a lot of zip ties. All right, let's go. Wow, definitely hot. It was just going to be a real pain to show you guys really the whole install from start to finish, because the intricacy of how everything is supposed to be ran with the wiring harness, I just couldn't get in there with the camera to actually show you. So what I've done is I've already went ahead and installed the wiring harness onto the truck. What I'm going to want you guys to do is remove both fender liners, because that is going to gain you access to run said control box, which we'll put the cover on right now. We did switch this fuse right here. We pulled that fuse out and slid that black piece of plastic towards the rear of the vehicle, and then reinstalled the fuse, and then that allowed us to have number 5 and 6 hot at all times. Cover on, covering is covered, and then you guys are gonna come down and we're gonna install this connector, which is dead-headed. Got it, right here. This plug's got a little cap on it. Off that fuse box comes that little jumper wire that we are now going to have to connect and fully secure. You guys, I don't know if you heard that click, but check us out. After running everything, this is the harness right here, okay? It clipped in to the battery harness that runs from the battery junction box. You guys can see it's actually got the factory hole, and then all along the wiring harness that goes underneath the radiator. Check it out. There's clamshells. That clamshell, the harness, all the way to the, I guess the same battery junction harness that is coming. That's coming from the driver's side. That's the same harness. You can see the little clamshell, and it goes along here. Clamshell is right there. And then this is pretty interesting right there. See that little tab right there? You can pop that tab and completely remove this from the core support and run that wire, which has got 2 tethers with Christmas tree clips. We have a clip right here, and then you can see the white one. We have a clip right on the side of the box. And then when we get to the box, you can see that open terminal right there, which we had an extra 10 milli nuts that went right on there. So the next part, I guess, is really to, check operation. Hopefully everything works. I wanted to make sure there was nothing wrong with the wiring to 5 and 6, because you guys remember that wasn't on. So, oh snap. Check it out. 5 and 6 were not on. Now that we are all hooked up, 5 and 6 work. Now let's turn the key on. 1, 2, 3, 4 should illuminate. Key in the hole, and yeah, check it out. 6 and 5, 5 and 6 upfitter switches all installed. I guess the last part, let's go ahead and find that seam. We have some push pins to push in. All right, maybe a better vantage point from here. Clip, 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 clip. We should go right in. There we go. Get that seam back on there. There we go. Now we're in, we're in, we're in. I like it. Map light, no power slider, no sunroof, upfitter switches, now equipped. If your Ford vehicle did not come with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you want them to be like that, like this, we are in southeastern Michigan, servicing all your Super Duty needs. This, I think, my friends, is going to be a very popular install because so many people with the XL, XLT did not have upfitter switches. Well, now you can from the factory. You guys just saw it done here on the channel. I appreciate you guys for watching each and every time. Make sure to drop me a line. Hit the shop phone number 947-900-1115. Tell me if you'd like to get your vehicle in for an appointment, maintenance, upfitter switches, mods to underneath the hood, especially that DCR, or maybe it's almost winter time and you want to get that Ventec LHG installed so that you can be sweating profusely like I am right now. I appreciate you guys. Tell me what you think. Upfitter switches, we out.